Judge Jackson, thank you for participating in tonight's Civitas interview.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And our first question is, what do you believe to be the role of the judiciary? If elected, how will your understanding of your role manifest in your adjudication?
Well, I've been a judge for 5.5 years now, and I think our judiciary has a limited role. We have a North Carolina mandatory separation of powers clause, and the judiciary is called upon to judge, not to legislate. We're not a super legislature. My role as a judge is to bring that to the table and write opinions that have limited authority and interpret the law, don't make the law.
And our next question is, what impact do you feel the recent SBI issue will have on the efficacy of the judicial system? Should this cause North Carolinians to reconsider their position on the death penalty?
I think the SBI articles are going to have an impact on the judiciary. I think that we will see a number of what are called MARs, or motions for appropriate relief. Those will likely be filed in the superior courts and may or may not be granted. The appellate courts, the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court, will be dealing with them. It's hard to tell exactly what impact they'll have at this point in time. As to the death penalty, I would not presume to tell North Carolina citizens what they need to believe about the death penalty. That's something that each person has to make up their own mind about.
And the third question, what are your thoughts on judicial offices being made nonpartisan and about publicly financing appellate court races?
Well, in 2004, I ran in the first cycle that was nonpartisan and the first cycle that was judicially publicly financed, and I failed to qualify for public financing. That was very challenging, and I actually challenged the public financing law due to some of the provisions in it. So I have had some issues with it, although I am participating this year. It's not a perfect program, but it's a program that we have right now. And again, I think it's up to the legislature, the people through their elected representatives in the legislature, to make that determination, not the judiciary at this point in time, since it's been challenged. As to nonpartisan races, I think it does make it more difficult for our citizens to determine who we are. I have found people coming to the voting booths finding it very difficult to understand who I am. People of long-standing acquaintance don't seem to realize that I'm on the ballot. That certainly happened in 2004. So I think it is something that's worth revisiting.
And our final question, why should North Carolina elect you to become a leader of its judicial system?
I've been a judge now for 6 years almost. I joined the North Carolina Court of Appeals January 1st of 2005, and it's been a real privilege to be there. I have 20 years of experience. I began my career at the North Carolina Supreme Court, and it's really an honor to be running this year. I've served in the executive branch with Governor Martin and Commissioner Cherie Berry. I've served on the Supreme Court as a law clerk. I've also had experience in private practice doing local government municipal law, and it's my honor to be running this year. I've tried to craft careful, thoughtful opinions during my 5.5 years on the Court of Appeals, over 500 opinions, sitting on 1,000 more, and I will bring that same thoughtful consideration to the state Supreme Court.
Thank you for your time.